Today I'm going to do a few dishes particularly for Christmas, and the first one I'm going to do is dried citrus fruits. You probably know that dried satsumas or clementines, any type of tangerine, sliced up and dried in your normal oven is really nice to either have as a snack or to use as a decoration on the Christmas tree. Well, you can dry them very much quicker in your air fryer than you can in a domestic oven. I know that maybe if you're doing loads, you might still want to use the oven, as you can obviously get more into it. But don't forget, the air fryer is so much cheaper to use than a domestic oven. For example, the oven costs about £1 per hour to use, and the air fryer 17 pence per hour. So it's well worth using your air fryer to dry citrus fruits, which take about an hour and a half. I'll do one lemon because I think they look particularly pretty. I cut the ends off, or you could use them in a recipe. You want to put them in a single layer into your air fryer basket. Now, it doesn't matter if you've got the smaller air fryer, you can still get them in, and you could use a rack and put a few more on top. And these are going into the air fryer at 82 degrees centigrade, and they will take an hour and a half. So you'll have to reset your timer. And I turn them over halfway through. Air fry, temperature 82, it's already on 82. Time, and we're going for the full, this one goes up to an hour. So these are some of the lemon and orange slices I prepared earlier. They were in the air fryer, if you remember, for 1.5 hours at 82 degrees centigrade. And they're lovely to eat as a snack or to hang on the Christmas tree. You can store the orange and lemon slices in a Tupperware container or a tin with a tightly fitting lid. They will keep for up to 2 weeks. If you find they have gone in the slightest bit what I call soggy, then return them to the air fryer at 82 degrees for about 20 minutes and they will soon crisp up again. Christmas is a lovely time to have some spiced mixed nuts. Again, something that's wonderful and quick to make in the air fryer. I've got a 350 gram packet of mixed nuts into a baking tin suitable for the air fryer. The Brazil nuts, I just like to chop in each Brazil nut about 3 pieces because I find they're too big, the whole Brazil nut. And sometimes the walnuts are also a little big, so just cut those as well if you want to. And the mixed nuts are Brazil nuts, pistachio, almonds, cashew nuts, walnuts and pecan nuts. So jolly nice mixture. I buy them in a big bag from the health food store. I'm going to add to these some spice, good old Christmas spices. About half a teaspoon of mixed spice, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, a teaspoon of sweet cinnamon, so that's 2 of those, a little salt, and I'm just going to add a little spray oil. It's very useful to have your own spray oil bottle in the kitchen. This is one I picked up at the garden centre years ago now, and I use a mixture of olive oil and sunflower oil, about 50-50. And now my secret ingredient, which is the maple syrup. There's absolutely no need to add it, but it is absolutely delicious, particularly at Christmas time. And I put a tablespoon of maple syrup over the nut mixture, and these are going to toss 8 to 9 minutes at 180 degrees centigrade, and I'm going to stir them twice during the cooking process. So the nuts have had about 3/4 of their cooking time. They're smelling amazing, I must say. And I'm going to give them a good old stir. can see that they'll just need about another 2 minutes, and we're cooking those at 180. So don't forget, you're the one in charge. If you think it needs less or more time, then it's up to you. The nuts are now ready, and always have some heat-proof surface to put your drawer on as you take it out of the air fryer. And I'm simply going to give these a stir, turn those into a container, and they're ready for Christmas. Now I'm going to pretend it's Christmas morning, and we're going to do pigs in blankets. What better way to cook pigs in blankets than the good old air fryer? I've just bought the ready prepared pigs in blankets from the supermarket, and I do try and buy the finest they have because I think they're better quality. You can cook them, of course, directly in your basket straight onto the base, but for ease on Christmas morning, when I don't want too much mess, I'm going to cook them in a container suitable for the air fryer. Obviously, before you start, check that whatever you're going to use is air fryer proof and it will fit into your basket. Then it's very, very simple. We're going to start by preheating the air fryer, and we want 190. I'm going to set the timer for about 11 minutes. So meanwhile, all you've got to do is put your pigs in blankets, and these are semi-frozen. I can tell you, I only took these out of the freezer an hour ago. So you can cook them frozen, semi-frozen, or completely defrosted. The timing will just alter very slightly. Just make sure that when you transfer them, you don't let the bacon come off the sausage. The air fryer has now reached temperature, so I'm just going to pop the container in, and they will take about 10 minutes. So we'll have a look at the sausages and see how they're getting on. They've had about 4 minutes at the moment, and don't forget they went in at 190 degrees C. So I think you can see they're coming along nicely. I'm going to turn them over just to help them cook evenly. They're going back into the air fryer for about another 6 minutes. So the sausages have just pinged, and I'm going to transfer them to a serving dish. I think you'll agree they make a lovely snack for Christmas morning. I'm going to make parmesan biscuits, another thing which is delicious for Christmas morning with a glass of champagne. And I'm using good old supermarkets, Grana Padano parmesan it's called. I think it's a slightly cheaper version. And you need about half of this to make about 8 biscuits. And of course, if you want to do the whole block of parmesan, then do so, but I'm going to do about half this morning. The nice thing about these biscuits is that you can cook them either in a muffin pan, if it fits into your air fryer, or you can cook them individually in either the silicone muffin, large muffins, or the little ones. I prefer the little ones actually, if you've got them, because they're quite rich, these parmesan biscuits. I'm going to put the grated parmesan cheese into a mixing bowl, and this is such a simple recipe. All you add is about half a teaspoon of mixed dried herbs, or you could use chives, or just a little bit of thyme if you wish. And I like to put the most tiny bit of these ready chopped chilies, and I mean it. I use about a quarter of a teaspoon, because you do need to make sure that that chili, which is jolly powerful, is distributed throughout the cheese. You can cook these in 2 ways. Either you can get the ready lacy parmesan biscuits. If you cook them directly on the base of your air fryer, you must make sure that you just put heaped teaspoons full in which aren't actually touching. But today I'm going to cook them in a muffin tin, a non-stick muffin pan. So it's a very, very simple recipe. You just put heaped teaspoons, in fact it's about 2 teaspoons, into each of the muffin cases. So they're going into the air fryer at 200 degrees C and they will take 5 minutes. The nice thing about this recipe, of course, is that you can go again. If you now want to reuse your container and make a few more biscuits to serve on Christmas morning. Or many of my recipes, including the nuts, are in my new book, The Everyday Air Fryer, which was published last month by Penguin.